So today we're going to do something a little bit different. We are going to go back through 2025 and look at all the bike racks that I've built up over this last year, and we will figure out which one's the best one for you. We've got budget-friendly racks, we've got e-bike racks, we've got vertical racks, we've got tire press racks. So stick around. There'll be chapter links in the bottom if you want to skip ahead to your favorite, and then we'll find out what my favorite is of 2025. Today we are going to be doing the build-up and the installation of this 2-inch e-bike bike rack sent to me by outfitter.com. I will put a link in the description so you guys can check them out. But this bike rack will hold 2 bikes. Each tray will hold up to 100 pounds, so a total of 200 pounds. So when there's no bikes on it, you can store it up by your tailgate or your trunk. And then when there are bikes on there and you have to get access to your trunk with ease, you can just drop it down and get that access. The cool thing about this is it will support tires up to 5 inches, so don't worry about your fat bikes, your e-bikes, road bikes, mountain bikes, and even kids bikes. It does have a center post, so it can securely mount. Once your tires are in the tray, it will securely mount either the frame, the top tube, or the seat post, so there's no movement. I'm excited to get this on the back of my car and try it out for a budget-friendly e-bike bike mount. And their motto is buy one, plant one. So every time you support them, they will plant a tree. So follow me with the time lapse as I build this up in my driveway. So now we're going to demonstrate on how easy it is to put the hitch in. It does come with this threaded bolt and the cotter pin to lock it in. So we'll use that with the insulation. Once again, this will only fit 2-inch receivers. We will put this in. Line up the hole. Pretty good there. What we'll want to do is thread this all the way in. After I get this mounted, we'll tighten it down with a wrench, but then you put the cotter pin in and it's installed. What's neat about this is it has a 3-point pivot system with another cotter pin and a bolt. Once you remove that, you can put the rack up against the trunk or your tailgate for easy storage when the bikes are not on. And to drop it down, we'll pull that pin out, bring this out, and here is where you're able to drop it down if you need access to your trunk or tailgate, and then bring it back up. Put that bolt back in, secure it with the cotter pin. And now we are ready to load the bikes. These center arms will come up. When installing this, there are 2 plastic bushings that will go between the metal pieces, so it's not metal on metal. Make sure that you have those in. That way it adds a little bit more stiffness so these aren't flopping around. So here is your metal post. Another thing to mention, just come in closer, I'll show you here. These trays, when you ratchet down, there are arrows, so it will show you which way to go. So make sure that you follow the arrow so it locks both ways. So then you'll ratchet it down, make sure that this is on the wheel. But enough about that. Let's get a bike on and we will show you some tests while we drive around. We're about to load our first bike. I have a heavy dual suspension mountain bike, so I'll take this off. So these slide, they're fully adjustable. They will go up to a 58-inch wheelbase. So once you have that set, you can lock it in, and then next time you put the same bike on, you don't have to worry about adjustments. So let's get this on. This is my large dual suspension mountain bike. We'll have it sit in that front tray and the back. And it looks like I want to perhaps move that back just a little bit so it sits more securely. We'll bring this tray back and we will tighten this bottom tray up. It's got a plastic wing for ease of tightening. We are good to ratchet this on and secure these wheels. So you've got the extra padded rubber on top of the wheel hoop, and then follow that directional arrow down. You'll see that this sits in the tray, nice and secure. Let's go back to the rear tire. Same idea. We'll move this up. We'll come through here, secure this on the wheel to prevent damage. Arrow pointing down, and we'll pull that through. The neat thing about this center arm, it's fully padded. It's got rubber mounts on both sides so it won't damage the frame. This should come up just a little bit. So we'll loosen this mount, slide it up, and you can twist this 360 degrees so you can mount it on your seat post, your top tube. I'm going to have it here on this top tube. I'll ratchet that down, have it secure, rubber on, rubber here. Directional arrow for the strap goes this way. So we will put this through and ratchet it in. So now we have the top mounted. We've got both wheels in the tray, and we'll come around the back side. Here's that little adjustment so you can go up or down. Directional for that strap comes this way. Bring that in, and we are secure. So then we'll have this moved out of the way for the next one, but then you'll have this other center arm, depending where you need it to be. We can have that secure that secondary bike. Each bike tray will hold up to 100 pounds. So this is perfect for your e-bikes. It'll hold up to a total of 200 pounds, 100 in the rear one and 100 in the front. So now that we have this loaded, let's get the camera on and we will go for a test and see how secure it is. Stay tuned, let me get in the car. All right, so we are leaving my driveway right now, a bit of a curb drop down, and we'll just take it for a quick spin around the block. We'll be going over some curbs. So let's see how this holds up. Here's a big one here. Pretty big bump, and it's settled down. I'm probably not going to be hitting too many of those rough patches when I'm riding or transporting my bike, so I don't have to worry about too much movement. But we're going through a subdivision, about 20 miles an hour, and it looks to be pretty solid. Doesn't look like there's any, looks like there might be minimal movement, but that's expected. All right, here's another curb that we're going to overland, and it held up well. Very good. So here we are backing up into my driveway, going up that curb again into the incline. And as you can see, it's mounted pretty well. Some small vibrations, but all in all, we are good. And I'm not sure if you noticed that or not, but it does tuck inside, so it's not extending past, the actual rack is not extending past my vehicle, which is fantastic. So now I'm going to mount the camera and we will get this bike off and show you how easy it is to dismount. Stand by. We are back now from that quick test ride. You saw the durability, the stability of this bike rack. Now, in order to get this off, we have 3 straps that we have to undo. Obviously, we have the top strap that is mounted to the bicycle. I will still leave this here as a cradle. We'll take out this front wheel, push it through out of the way. We have the rear one. All you have to do is press the release, get that out, and we'll just remove it straight off the front of the bike rack. And just like that, bicycle is off, you are ready to ride. As simple as putting it back together. And with this, what I like to do is when I'm storing this, I will ratchet these just to keep them from flopping around. We'll do the front and the back. Have that arm secure. We will pull that pin again and then elevate it to that storage position. Push that pin through, almost lined up. Lock it in, and we are good to go. And you'll notice that it's got a pretty low profile, so you don't have to worry about your license plate being blocked in the event of this is out of the way and not being used for bicycles. So this very well could be the perfect e-bike budget-friendly rack for you. Right now it's on sale for $199. It's $100 off. And I would definitely trust my expensive mountain bike on that with the fat tires. I'm running 2.4 inches. These trays will hold at a 5-inch fat bike tire, so no need to worry about will my bike fit or not. If you have any questions, leave them down below. And if I don't have the answers right away, I will reach out to the company and get them to you. Thank you, everybody. Stay safe and happy riding. So I've been enjoying the Young Electric 2 e-bike bike hitch that goes in my 2-inch receiver so much that the rest of the family wants to join. So now what? I needed to upgrade to a 3 bike so we can take the entire family. Today we are going to be looking at their 250-pound alloy aluminum bike rack. This will hold up to 250 pounds for the 3 bikes, which should be plenty enough in my experiences. It'll support a wheelbase up to 50 inches and 5-inch wide tires. It is foldable with a tilt to 90 degrees. That way you can still have access to your trunk. And it does include a cool little ramp. So those heavy e-bikes, you can ramp it up the side for ease of access. You don't have to lift it on or off anymore. I'm about to get this bike rack built up, but this is how it comes. And stay tuned, we'll get it on the back of my car. So one of the things I love about the Young Electric bike racks is the packaging. The box arrived without a dent on it, and just the packaging for the space alone. Look how secure that keeps that rack. This thing, I lifted this up from the front door once it was delivered, and you couldn't hear any rattling. What we're going to do now is we have the instructions for the build-up, and we will open this box and lay out all the pieces, and then that way we can ensure that we have all the correct pieces and we don't have to be searching in the box. So I am now on step 2 for putting the bike tire trays together, and something that I found useful when I've been putting together racks is using the box lid upside down and then putting the corresponding numbers on what I need. So easily when I'm putting this bike tray together, I know that I need 4 number 11 bolts, washers, screws. So I can quickly grab here. Here's my 11 pile, and we're good to go. Takes the guesswork out of the installation. So what's great about this rack is it fits 2-inch receivers perfectly. What I did was I built it up in my garage before I tightened all the bolts, so we'll see how everything gets tightened up while it's on the car. So what's great about this design is it has a threaded bolt that goes through the hitch receiver, slowing people down. So all you have to do is line that up, feed that through to the threads. You might have to come out or in, and then it's threaded through, and it'll stay in place with a cotter pin. My 15 by 16 inch wrench will do the trick. Another great feature is this added clamp down. So you put this over top the receiver, clamp it down, and it gives you that security. It won't bounce. This is on pretty snug right now with that locking bolt that goes through with the cotter pin, but just to ensure that there is zero movement or bouncing with your expensive bikes on top. So since I finger tightened these up, I built this up in my garage before it went on the rack, I will be using a 16 millimeter to tighten down the wheel trays, and I also have a 18mm which will be securing these pivot arms, which will hold the frame seat post in place. What I do want to talk about is how secure everything is. So this one comes with 2 large washers on each side for that pivoting arm that'll keep your seat post in check. And also has this locking nut over top before you put the bolt through. This is craftsmanship at its finest. I have not seen attention to detail on a bike rack ever. I've got 4 of them in my garage right now. And kudos to you, outfitter, using that Young Electric bike rack. This thing is going to hold up and last you many, many years. So now, like I said, we are going to tighten all of these up, and we will get back into the rack functionality and some features once I get everything tightened to spec. Stay tuned. So here we are now. We're about to load 3 bikes onto this rack, and we are going to use that ramp, that built-in ramp, to get them all on. Make sure that you put that pin back in. You don't forget about it. Bring these arms up. And then to get the ramp off, it's another pin and pull. Ramp comes out, it's got 2 hooks, and we'll just run it up and over. So the first bike we're going to mount is my 29-inch dual suspension mountain bike. The rails do have a lip on them, so you don't have to worry about your bike falling off no matter how heavy it is. Into that front wheel tray, and I'll let that rest there. You'll want to bring these padded straps over, secure that front wheel. You'll notice it's into the tray and it dips down to keep it secure. This back wheel chock, what we want to do is flip up the locking mechanism and bring it so it touches that rear tire, and then we'll press that down and lock it back into place. Same thing with this ratchet strap. You'll want to secure this. Make sure you're going the correct way to lock it in. And this middle post, we will mount this to my top tube. It's fully padded, so you don't have to worry about scratches. Easily adjustable with that knob, and then under, over, pull tight, and now it's secure. That bike is not going anywhere. Next bike we're going to do, we'll take that ramp off, mount it onto that middle one. We will use my wife's mountain bike. Roll it up and over, have it into that front wheel tray, and then secure that front wheel. Pull down to secure, and this rear chock, flip up that locking pin, bring it back so it touches the tire, and then we'll lock that back into place right there. And then this strap will come up and over, same as the other. I've mentioned this before, but this bike rack will hold 250 pounds. This center, this third contact point, just needs to come up a little bit. There we go. And then run this through, ratchet it down, and this is not going anywhere. So we have our third bike. Take that tray out. We'll have this contact point come up, drop it on, and then we'll use a extra large gravel bike. This gravel bike does have carbon wheels on it, and with the padding, I have no concerns that it's not going to scratch, and it's going to be very secure. So this rear chock needs to come up just a bit to secure that tire, lock it in. Front mounting, up and over, and ratchet it down. Have that padding on that expensive carbon rim, so I don't worry about that. Same thing for the back. Through the spokes. Lock it in, and this third contact point will be on the frame. It does swivel 360 degrees. So just because of the height of this, we might have to do it on that seat stay post. Bring it down a bit. Perfect. So you'll notice that I ended up mounting this to 3 different parts on each bike, whatever is most secure and whatever is the best fit. That's on. This is not going anywhere. Remove that back ramp. Put it back in for next time or unloading. Put the pin through. And it's now secure. We are good to ride. So now we are headed to the trail with 3 bikes securely mounted on this rack. You'd probably be hard pressed to find 3 e-bikes that weigh 250 pounds combined. And with those 3 contact points, the front wheel, the back wheel, and that third contact point either on the seat post stay, the top tube, they're not budging, they're not moving at all. They are not going anywhere. That's very reassuring to know with the amount of money on the back right now that these are solid. So although this is a 3-bike bike rack, we only need 2 bikes on it today. My daughter and I are going to go out for a mountain bike ride. This is neat. If you have an e-bike or a full suspension bike like I have that's a little bit heavier and you don't want to lift it up, there's a detachable ramp. We'll get into that. But to lower the rack, pull out the cotter pin, and the pin, it'll come down just like that. Make sure you replace the pin so you don't forget about it. And we are going to load my daughter's bike on first. So these wheel trays, this bike is a 20-inch kids bike, which fits nicely into the front tray. And these rear wheel chocks, what you want to do is have that rear tire sit up against it here. With a click up, you can fully adjust this, and a click down. So now that that tire's in the front tray, we'll place this here, move this chock back, lock it in. So now we can take these ratchet straps. They do have a nice thick rubber padding on them, so you don't have to worry about scratching your wheels. Make sure they go into the channel and tighten down. This front one, exactly the same. We'll put it through. And these rubber mounts on these straps are fully adjustable, and you can move them to fit the need of the wheel. So now that's locked in. These arms will be the third mounting point to the bike. Quick turn, and you can adjust them up and down. You can mount it to the seat post, which I'm going to do on this bike. You can do it on the top tube, whatever makes the most stability and the most sense for you. So I will need to have this come down just a little bit. We have that on the seat. Tighten that back up. And the padding on this contact point is super thick and soft, so you don't have to worry about scratching your bike. So now we have the seat post in. Look how secure that is. I got my car wobbling because of it. Now with the heavier bike, we'll use this ramp tray. Push that down. We'll bring this up. And it's the same thing. It's got a little pin on it. We'll open this up. Pull it out. Just like that. There are 2 little hooks on it. All you do is have it hang off to the side. Now I'll get my larger bike and we will just roll it up that ramp. These are 2.5-inch wide tires, and since the ramp has a lip on it, I don't have to worry about it falling off the side. It'll fit into that tray. These are 29-inch round tires, 2.5 inches thick. Same thing, we'll put this ratchet strap in with the rubber protecting that wheel. bring it down. Same thing with the back. We can adjust that area. Wheels on, tire chuck goes against it. And then we will push this for the rear wheel ratchet strap and cinch it down. For this middle post, I don't have enough height because this is an extra large bike to get it on the seat post. So we will make sure that it goes on the frame, the top tube. So that's pretty good there. Wrap that around with that protectant. And then we will put this through the ratchet strap. Pull it in tight, and that's solid as well. Don't forget that you have your ramp. All you do is reinsert it into the end. Lock it on. So we are good to ride. Let's see how bumpy and steady they are on the road. So now in order for us to remove these for our bike ride, you just take off that third contact point that's on the frame or the seat post. And then all we do is undo that ratchet with a quick press on the back wheel. We'll do the exact same thing. And we are now ready to ride. So we just got back from a bike ride. We were on the highway. We hit some high speeds. Went on some dirt road, and these bikes were solid. The great addition is this ramp, 1-pin pull, hook it on all three. You're able to get those heavy bikes up. We do have that pivoting third contact point, which is super easy. Just unscrew it here, move this out. You can have it up on the seat post. This one's a little too high because it's a huge bike, but it's as easy as cinching this down. That's on, and we do have the same for the front and rear. Oh, look at that third one that's not being used. These bike channels are amazing. They're huge. They're angled down so your bike tire fits in snug. It will drop below to keep it safe. So taking a look, your rear wheel will sit up against this. If you have to adjust this, it's as easy as flipping up and sliding it along the tray, having that wheel sit here, lock it in, and then you want to strap it down. All in all, it does have a threaded locking bolt. We looked at that, but this is solid. This is one of the best built bike racks I've used in a while, especially with some e-bike heavy weight on it. It will hold up to 250 pounds. Check them out. Thanks for watching. This just came in from Young Electric. This is their Tire Press 2 e-bike bike rack with ramp. It has carbon fiber accents and nothing touches your frame. It's got a multitude of different channels so you can adjust it to any tire width, and it'll hold up to 200 pounds. Let's build it and install it. So let's go ahead and mount this receiver into the 2-inch. It does have a locking threaded pin, so it'll help us keep everything straight when we're installing it, piecing it on the rack. So now on this side, we do have that locking cap with key to prevent any theft. And this thing is rock solid. Now we can start adding on the other pieces. So now we move on to that pivoting extension arm. There's 2 bolt holes. The rear one, you'll want to put this threaded bolt in and lock it down. This is the one that actually keeps it pivoting up towards the tailgate as well as back down. Once you have this tightened, the other slot is for a pin and a cotter pin. Now with the arm extended, you'll want to grab the first tray and start on the outside, working your way in. This tray fits nicely into these little slots. Each tray is held together by two long skinny bolts, as shown. What you want to do is thread them from the back because you'll have more accessibility to ratchet it down. Pivoting the tire arm trays up helps you get access to that front little bolt, which makes it a lot easier when installing and tightening down. The second tray, just like the first, you'll want to slide them into these slots and line up the bolt holes. You'll want to install the bolts from the backside just for ease of access and less frustration. Here's a close-up of what you're looking at. The bolts will slide through the internal tray, through that mounting post, and then you'll just tighten it up this way. This also aids in the secureness of the rack going through the tray on both sides. What's super impressive to me is they have these wheel chock trays, which I don't see on any other bike racks. Basically, it's a pivoting little tray that you roll your tire up and over, and it kind of cradles it on the backside when that front clamp comes down on that front tire. Genius idea, and I can see other companies using this idea. So we are finalized with the install. Everything's tightened down to spec. We used all the cotter pins, and these things will come in super handy. You kind of rock your tire up into it and it'll act as a additional tray. It does come with a ramp for those heavier bikes. So let's take this off and we'll get some mountain bikes loaded up. Just like that. And check out that carbon finish. They have this on the tray as well as those pivoting arms. Let's get some bikes on. So one thing to note is if you are going to use those ramps, you will have to open this arm all the way down so you can hook that ramp up into this end here. Let me show you how. So we'll press the red button on the back side, bring this all the way down so we can access that ramp feature. We'll do the same to the other side. This is the one that's going to hold that front tire. And let me grab that ramp. Easy as hooking it into these two, like so, and then we'll roll that bike up. So you'll see that front wheel chock, roll it up and over, it locks in place, and then all you have to do is remove that ramp, and then we'll lock in the front by pulling it back. So that's securing the front, and then to bring this one back up, what we'll do is press that, bring that arm up, have the tire and the bike mounted center, lock it into place. That bike is not going anywhere, especially with the help of this front wheel. So let's do the same. Let's get another bike loaded on. This one is not as heavy, so I won't need to use a ramp for it. So this is my wife's mountain bike. It's not as heavy, so I don't need the assistance of that ramp. Have that back tire against that red chalk and bring that back. Same thing on the back. Extra little winch to make sure it's not going anywhere. And the neat thing is you can remove these. So these are 29-inch tires. So if you have to go down to 27.5, 26, 24, whatever it might be, these will go down and hold adult bikes, kid bikes, e-bikes, you name it. So let's go for a test and see how sturdy these racks are. All right, so we are driving now. We've got both of those heavy mountain bike, the 29-inch tires on the back of this rack. And I'm looking out my back mirror right now, and there doesn't seem to be any play, any bounce, I know we are on a paved road right now, but just putting them in with that front rocker cradle, I've used no frame bike racks in the past, and you're just relying on those two arms to come down and clamp on the tires. So there is some middle wiggle room, but with that red tire chalk, that keeps it super sturdy, super in place. I wouldn't have any concerns about going off-road with a bike rack like this, having those two very heavy e-bikes on if you're using those. As mentioned, this rack will hold up to 200 pounds, so that should cover most double e-bikes. You shouldn't run into any problems with an e-bike heavier than 100 pounds. But there is no movement. This thing is strapped down. It's not going anywhere. My confidence is in this rack on long road trips, off the grid or on the grid. So now that we're back, let's show you how easy it is to take these off. We'll get the bikes taken off, and then we'll put all the pins back in and fold it up against the tailgate. So since it's in that front chalk, I would recommend taking the back one down so you don't have to worry about that. And then we'll take this front one down, press this red button. You might have to push it against the tire a little bit, bring it down. And just like that, we've got one bike off. And all you have to do is push these back down to where they were located. 1, 2, and then let's use that ramp on this last one. And we'll do the same to the front. And then we can just roll this back over that wheel chalk and then right off the bike for storage. When you're done, put that ramp back in the end with the clip. Flip it up. Collapse the arms on the front and the back. What we have here is we have a bolt and a nut through here, and then we have a pin and a cotter pin. So this will keep it in place when it's down. Simply pull, and then once you bring this up to the tailgate, you'll put it through this one to keep it secure. So we'll bring this up, put that pin through. So this is what it looks like folded up against your tailgate. You'll notice that you can still have visibility to your license plate when you're driving, and it's pretty close to your tailgate, so you don't have to worry about it sticking out way too far. But with everything bolted down, this bike rack's not going anywhere. So thank you for watching. I hope you found this review very helpful. I know it's a great bike rack, and if you're looking for those options that you don't want to have something clamped to your frame, this is the bike rack for you. Like I said before, it'll hold up to 200 pounds, so you don't have to worry about those heavy e-bikes. And it's super light. With that built-in carbon fiber printed ramp, it looks super cool. So I'll see you guys on the road.
Today we're exploring the story of Hollywood Racks, a brand that began its journey in the 1970s with a simple mission: to revolutionize how cyclists transport their bikes. Back then, recognizing the growing passion for cycling, Hollywood Racks seized the opportunity to offer reliable, durable solutions. Over the decades, they evolved from basic trunk-mounted designs to innovative hitch-mounted systems, ensuring every product delivers ease of use and safety. Their unwavering commitment to quality and customer satisfaction set them apart in a competitive market. Now, building on this rich heritage, the brand has introduced the new 2-bike Crosstrack, a modern solution that encapsulates decades of expertise by providing a versatile, secure way to transport 2 bikes at once. Hollywood Racks continues to marry tradition with innovation, keeping cyclists moving forward.
Hey everyone, today we are going to look at the 5-bike JB Racks vertical bike mount trailer hitch. I have their original model. This is on their shed stand so I can keep the bikes on here and move it around for easy storage. And this thing has been great for me when we go out mountain biking with the family. Wheels sit in the tray, lock it down with the silicone strap, and no worry about movement. It does have a slow fold strut, so it'll come down away from the vehicle nice and easy and go back up with ease. They have released a new model with sturdier frame construction and a new wheel design. If you look at this one was missing a gap on this side where the wheels sat up against, and now it is solid. So the new rack that I got from JB Racks, it will hold 5 bikes. I got their Velo teal color just for a little splash of personality, and we will get this on the shed stand beside my vehicle. We'll build this up in the garage. If you're looking for installation videos, Run Bike Mike did some great build-up videos for their bike racks and the shed stand. You can find those in the instruction site on JB Racks. But let's build this up and get it side by side and see what's different. So here we have the original JB Rack on the shed stand, and now we have their new, updated, and improved model. What you'll notice is in the hitch pin, it's now internally threaded, so when you put that big bolt through, it adds that stability so it's not as wobbly as the original. You'll notice that all their hardware and joints, everything's been upgraded, and the stability and thickness is just beyond what the concerns were that were on the internet. So I wanted to give this a go and see if their upgrades were something that would help me out. I do have the strut on the OG one. I will be moving that onto here. I'll be getting some bikes on, and we're gonna go for a test drive. But this thing seems, not that this wasn't a great rack, but this thing seems 100% more solid and upgraded. So let's put it to the test. So some of the improvements you'll notice are these wheel holders. On the original one, this was kind of thin and flimsy. They've upgraded this and it's a lot thicker. I'd say it's twice as thick right now, and that'll keep your wheels from moving around. One other thing that I noticed, this center mast post, it's a square post now, which makes it more solid. And before it was more rectangular, coming back the longer on this end. So it was easier to kind of bend those when you were tightening everything down. So sturdier center mast and wheel tray holders. Let's get the bikes on. So my daughter and I are going to go mountain biking, gravel cycling. So let's get this mounted up. All you have to do, it has that slow release strut. Pull out that center pin and bring it down for ease of access. We'll go ahead and load my XL gravel bike on first. And we'll bring this back up with ease and put that center locking pin back in. For those of you who are not familiar, these straps will go on the pedal to hold it down. Loop it over the pedal and tighten that on. We'll have these silicone wheel straps which come up and over. Which keep that bike from moving. We'll do the same with my daughter's bike. We'll have that silicone strap come up and over. Pull it so it's nice and tight. That's locking in that top wheel. and same thing on the bottom. Mount that strap on the pedal axle, and all we have to do is make sure that's tight. It's against the tray on the bottom, and it's not going anywhere. We have our 2 bikes out of the 5 loaded, ready to go. We are back from our bike ride, and as easy it was to load these bikes, it's just as easy to take off. So what you'll want to do is loosen that pedal strap, unhook the silicone strap around the wheel, and it comes right off, just like that. Let's get the other one off. Same thing, we'll loosen that pedal strap that kept it securely in place, that silicone strap for that front wheel, and I'm 6'4", so I can lift the bikes on and off easily, but if you're a little bit shorter, you've got heavier bikes, pull that pin, it'll automatically come down, take them off, and put it back up. Let's see what my final thought is. Follow me. So we're back home. You saw the original JB rack that I had and the new upgraded rack. I mean, you guys had concerns about the original design. JB racks, they listened and they perfected the rack that they already had. We've got a sturdier base. We've got a square tubing instead of that rectangular for strength. We've got thicker tire trays that keep your tires guided on that bottom rack. I mean, they just keep getting better. So if you're looking for a budget-friendly vertical rack, check out JB Racks because they've come a huge way since the original model, and it just keeps getting better. Thank you guys again for watching, and we'll see you on the trails. Hey everyone, today we are going to look at the MHS, that's Module Hitch System Rack by Saris. Basically, you have your 2-inch receiver that comes out depending on what attachments you want to put on this base. I went with a 3-bike one, so we'll have 1, 2, 3 bike racks on here. You can have tail lights mounted on the back. You can have cargo trays. You can mix and match whatever you want to do. So we are going to get this base installed, add 3 bike racks for my upcoming race, and we'll see how easy it is. It's supposed to have a clamping system for ease of access. So let's get this on the car and start building. So this is a future proof of bike rack hitches. We will install that base with the basically, you've got your handle to bring the bikes up and down from the tailgate, and this little pad when you do drop it down. This will fit a 2-inch receiver. All we have to do is slide this in and start building. First off, we will thread this pin in with a 5/8 wrench. For added security, there is a lock on the other side. Let's get this on. Now with that fully threaded on, we do have this little locking mechanism with a key. It folds up out of the way, and then when it's on that little ridge, that is now secure, locking the bike rack to your vehicle. So what makes this fully future-proof is we will need to install these clamps underneath with 4 hex bolts. And then once these are on, we'll get this up onto that base. It'll clamp on, and then we'll have like a T-bolt and lock it on. But first things first, with the 3 bike racks, I'm gonna install these, and then we'll get the placement on the hitch. So the weight limits for the tray, the 2 closest of the vehicle will hold up to 80 pounds. Then you have 35 pounds, and if you add that 4th bike rack, it'll hold an additional 35-pound bike. And now for the latch installation, you'll put this bolt with the hole through. You'll have the bolt go through that hole, and then we'll tighten this up, and this will come down and then latch into place, and then we tighten it up once it's on this shaft. So since we are mounting 3 on, I'm just going to dry fit this one, and then we can make fine adjustments later on. There's that, and then this will come up underneath, clamp on, and then we'll tighten that bolt underneath. Looking good.
So you'll notice underneath there's a cutout, and that will be for that rear wheel tray. It basically slides into that cutout, and we will have that secured, clamped on the back, and that'll be for the rear wheel. We'll put them on all three. Let's go to the front. So for your front wheel chock, all you have to do is lift this arm up, press the gray, comes up. We will put the front wheel chock here, and then there's 2 screws that come up underneath. We will install this back one that also has 2 screws from underneath. So if you order the base system, it will come with 4 lock cores and a key. All you have to do is install this, and we have on-board locking, which is super nice. I probably have to use a key for this. There we go. And we'll get that installed. Perfect. Just like that, we can now pull out on each end and lock our bikes to the rack. So this is a moment we've all been waiting for. This handle, you pull it out, it'll come up. What's nice is you can keep it away from the tailgate with a bit of an angle, or it goes right up flush. And it's pretty close to the back. The wheel trays will, on my vehicle, they're about 2 inches from the bumper. It does have this nice little pad, so if you do have bikes on it and you do have to move it away from the vehicle, it'll rest on that foot. So there's no scraping, there's a rubber pad on it. Lift it back up, and we are locked in. These wheel trays are fully adjustable down to 20-inch bikes. All you have to do is unloosen this, pull it out, and then slide that down. I don't have any small bikes that I'm going to be putting on today, so let's get my road bike on. In order to lift this up, you just lift this gray clip, and it comes up, and we'll do that on this side. Lift up the gray, get this out of the way. This will be the front wheel tray, so we'll mount a road bike on that. We'll unhook this rear wheel for added safety. Get that out of the way. Install the road bike up front. And then listen to this sound. Center this, come to the back, do the same. We've got this mounted right beside the valve. Tucked up and away, make sure we've got tight on that side. Tight on that side. If I wanted to, I could come down just a little bit on this one. It's fully customizable, and then I would have this lower. But that bike is not going anywhere. Look how solid that is. So we've got the Saris MHS 3-bike rack all built up. It does have a spot where I could put a 4th bike. Obviously, the heavier bikes, it's rated to go closer to the vehicle, and then the farther you get out, it still can hold some pretty heavy bikes. We'll have 3 on this one. Like I said, there's multiple attachments. I could put a cargo basket in the back, I could put it in the front, I could have a bike on, I could have 2 bikes on, add a 4th bike. But this thing is, I only need 3 bikes. I've got a family of 3 of us that ride. This thing's gonna be great, and we're gonna be going up camping with 3 bikes, and we'll test it out. But this bike is solid, it's not going anywhere. I'll leave some information below, and hopefully you enjoyed this build up and the new Saris future-proof rack. Thanks for watching. Hey everyone, Shane from Cali Domestique, and today we are looking at the Saris Superclamp 2-bike rack hitch mount. It has a 2-inch receiver, and it also has the adapter around that 2-inch, so you can take it out and put it into a 1 1/4-inch receiver. All you do is basically slide these trays in. There's 4-bolt installation. It comes with a 4mm and a 6mm Allen wrench, and basically that's it. 2 bolts on this side, 2 bolts on this side. Once you put it in, there's a locking pin, and then you have your anti-wobble. Tighten that up, finger tight. It's got a flat down. Let's install the bikes, and it also has a tilt away. So let's get into loading the bikes up. You'll notice that these wheel straps, they will move, so you can put the center of the wheel in. What's super neat about these things is to keep it away, it has this little mount on the back, so you're not fussing around trying to get this out of the way. When deciding what bike tire is best for you, there's little plugs here. You can move this up, so if you have a child's bike, a 20-inch wheel, it'll fit. If you have a normal size, you can have it in the middle slot. And if you have a wider mountain bike tire with some grip on it, you can move it back. But this one is a perfect setup for me, so let's get it on. So we will lift this bike up. It'll sit in the tray, which is perfect, you see. And all you need to do, pull this handle back, bring it out. It only goes so far, so bring it out with that spring load. That's as far up as it goes. Let go, and then give it a nice little push. We'll come around to the back side. You'll notice that strap is tucked away. Let's move this so it's not on the valve stem. And bring it through, secure it all the way down. And then on the back side, you can get rid of that excess so there's nothing flapping in the wind. We'll see it tilt away from the car, so you have access to your trunk or tailgate. We'll bring that back up, locked in. It will come with a key, so once you have that top clamp on the tire, all you do is lock it out and it's secure. Removing the bike is just as easy. We'll unhook that on the back, take that back strap off, get it out of the way with that nifty little holder, and then grab that clamp, bring the spring out, and it goes back into place. And now your bike is off. To store it, we'll just put those straps through, lock it on, pull out, and it's away from your vehicle. If you want more information about this, I will post the official link down below. But look how streamlined this is. Keeps it down, license plate still in view, and it's solid. See you guys on the trail.
So there you have it. We've gone through Young Electric to Hollywood Racks to JB Racks to Saris. And my favorite, thank you guys for sticking around, is going to be the Saris Superclamp G4. I love the versatility of it. The 2-bike rack is all I need for most of my trips. It stays pretty low, that profile, so you can still see the taillights, my license plate. I can still open my tailgate on my SUV with it not interfering. I don't have to put it down or tilt it away. And it's just very secure, budget friendly as well, and super light. So I hope you like this compilation of all the best bike racks of 2025. Leave a comment below. What was your favorite? Is there one that you want me to review? Or if there's something that you use that I didn't cover, let me know. Till next time.